We envy you and welcome back. This is lesson 17. You may have just come from lesson 16, or you may have not done lesson 16 yet. I hope that you have. Go do lesson 16 if you haven't. Anyway, moving forward, for this lesson you need a pen, paper to write on, or alternatively your computer document if you are using that. Again, what you need to have sent your teacher is your paragraph from lesson 16, which you should have already done by now. Plot to kill Prospero. Earlier in the play, two characters planned to murder some other characters. Which characters were planning the murder? Which characters were going to be murdered? And what was the reason for the murder? We've also got the extension of why did the murder fail? You might want to pause the video now so that you can answer the questions. Now, with a red pen, can you mark your answers? 1. Antonio, Prospero's brother, and Sebastian, Alonso's brother, planned a murder. 2. They were planning to kill Alonso, the King of Naples, and his councillor, Gonzalo. 3. With Alonso dead, Sebastian believed that he would become King of Naples. And 4. The murder failed because Ariel arrived and woke up Alonso and Gonzalo. These events came from plot 2, the plot to kill Alonso. Today, however, we will be returning to the plot involving Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo. Caliban has met these two new characters. Stefano is a drunken butler. He fed Caliban wine. Caliban got drunk from drinking Stefano's wine, and Caliban has sworn to serve Stefano. Remember, he thinks that Stefano is some form of godlike creature. Trinculo is a jester, and Caliban is leading the way to Prospero's cell. Why does Caliban hate Prospero? Here, you might want to make a mind map or a bullet point list of all the reasons that you can think of. Imagine if you were Caliban. How would you feel about Prospero? Caliban hates Prospero because Prospero is violent towards Caliban. Also, Caliban feels that the island was his and that Prospero stole the island from him. Caliban has a plan to take the island back from Prospero. He wants to take the island back by force. We are now going to look at how Caliban plans to take the island back. We're going to read from Act 3, Scene 2 to line 78 to Act 3, Scene 2, line 101. You will find this in the version of the online version of the text. However, I will also include over the next few slides as well as a translation. Come, proceed. Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with the knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he is but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house he'll deck withal. And that most deeply to consider is thy beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a non-pariel. I never saw a woman, but only Cycrox, my dam, and but she as far surpasseth Cycrox, as greatest does latest. Is it so brave a lass? Ay, lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood. Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I shall become king and queen, save our graces, and Trinculo and thyself shall become viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo? So here, Caliban is basically saying, in the afternoon, Prospero likes to have a nap. Like every afternoon he sleeps. So what you need to do whilst he's asleep is basically bash his head in with the book, or stab him in the stomach, or slit his throat. But remember, you've got to grab his books first, because without his magical books, he's nothing. He's just human. But also, another reward that you can take is his daughter, Miranda. She's really, really beautiful, and she can sort of basically be your wife. And he says, I've never seen a woman before apart from my mother, but Miranda is much more beautiful than my mother was. And Stefano's kind of like, is she really so beautiful? And Caliban's like, yes, she is, and like, you know, she'll look amazing as your wife, and he says she'll look good in your bed, basically. And she'll produce some fine children too. So Stefano kind of agrees then that he's going to kill Prospero. He's going to take the daughter, and they'll become king and queen, and Trinculo and Caliban can become sort of almost the governors of the island. I want you to think about these questions. So in this passage, Caliban lists a number of ways Stefano can kill Prospero in his sleep. So what are the 4 ways that Caliban suggests? So before killing Prospero, Stefano and Trinculo need to do something important. What do they need to do that take away Prospero's power? And Caliban offers another reward to Stefano in addition to becoming the king of the island. What is the other prize that Stefano could claim? You might want to pause the video here to think about your answers. So Caliban tells Stefano to kill Prospero by hitting him on the head, using a log to hit him in the head, stabbing him in the stomach, or cutting his throat. To take away Prospero's power, Stefano needs to steal and destroy Prospero's magic books. And Caliban says that Stefano could make Miranda be his wife after Prospero is killed. This is the 3rd plot in the Tempest. So plot 3 is the plot to kill Prospero. We now know why Caliban wants to kill Prospero, and we also know how Caliban plans to kill Prospero. What I want you to do now is to come up with reasons for or against killing for Caliban to kill Prospero. Is it justified? So what are the reasons for? So why is it right that Caliban should kill Prospero? And what are the reasons against? So why is there no way that you can defend Caliban's plan to kill Prospero? And then which one do you agree with most? Are you for it or against it? You now need to write a paragraph explaining your feelings about this. Is Caliban justified or not? And why? Why do you feel that way? Finally, which of these statements are true? A. Caliban wants to kill Prospero. B. Caliban says that Prospero can be killed with magic. C. Caliban wants to kill Prospero because Caliban wants to become king of the island. D. Caliban wants to kill Prospero in a violent and gruesome way. And E. Caliban offers Miranda, Prospero's daughter, as an additional prize for killing Prospero. You may want to pause the recording in PowerPoint and write your answers. Now, with red pen, can you please check your answers? A. Caliban wants to kill Prospero is correct, as is D. Caliban wants to kill Prospero in a violent and gruesome way. And E. Caliban offers Miranda, Prospero's daughter, as an additional prize for killing Prospero. Well done, Year 8s. Well done, Year 8. You have now completed week 6 of the Tempest. Hope you have a brilliant weekend and look forward to seeing you next week.